Hey, Maria, back with another video. It's not 9. It's 1:19 p.m. It is October 13th, Friday the 13th, for all you superstitious people out there. And I'm here just doing my usual. I'm kind of working on content, and at the same time, I'm being distracted by downloads. And I would say my work style, I have a really good work ethic, and I'm very I have a very sharp focus, and that's one of the reasons why things like spiritual downloads or messages are great, but I find them frustrating because it immediately takes me away from what I'm doing, and it can take me a long time to go through these downloads. And I'm the kind of person that I don't feel balanced. I don't feel like I'm ready to take any other steps until after I finish processing these downloads. I mean, and I understand most people cannot understand me. That's one of the reasons why I try very hard to, just kind of mind my own business and not let other people try to like put their or interject their feelings and stuff onto me, because I literally do work on my own special, what I'm going to call divine, not that I'm divine, but divine given timetable. And this is just how I am. But I will say, once I do get downloads, they usually serve to me as in a very beneficial way. For some reason, I'm getting these downloads that, I mentioned one yesterday, and I think it's really important because to know who you are. Whoever it is, I remember thinking about how important it is to understand who your ancestors are. Obviously, if I am adopted, which I'm starting to believe that I am, that I'm not of the bloodline that I thought I was. I thought that I was the blood relation of the Gordons and the Daniel family, but this is not true. I'm starting to see and understand and remember things that went on in my life that clearly point that it was like so in my face that how in the world did I not see it? But see, like I said, when you're younger, you're just kind of going about your business. You don't question things. You just accept the fact that your brothers and sisters are bratty little kids, and you think that they're just like bullying you for fun. I didn't realize just how fucking political and deep this shit is. But anyway, yeah, I have been working on content for Patreon. I will say that my goal is to have, for my Patreon subscribers, to have, I'm going to say minimum 4 instructional videos for the entire month. Of course, there's going to be more, but I'm telling Maria, because I'm going to be managing a newsletter and a bunch of other things. So it's like I am taking on a lot, and I have to think about the time when that it takes to produce content. And also, it's important to me. I think the most important thing to me is because I am imparting information and wisdom to you, and I want to do it in a way where everyone understands and can catch on easily. I had mentioned that, I think a lot of people know that I've been into mysticism for a very long time. This is since birth, okay? And obviously there's a lot of people, I get a lot of downloads on people who want to understand my techniques. Obviously there's a lot of books out there that people could get, and they probably read them and they found them very complex. And my thing is, I remember getting books too when I started realizing, hey, I got these gifts. And I realized that these books that were printed out there were not, I'm not saying there's not good information in them. I'm just saying is that some people practice the art of manifestation in a very complex way, and it makes total sense to them. There's nothing wrong with that. But I always thought that this could be used in a more practical way. So there obviously is schools of thought out there, like magical schools and stuff, that do teach what they call like ceremonial magic, where you're like, create casting circles, and you're doing all this, what I consider to be very elaborate, time consuming stuff. Whereas I'm not, I wasn't trying to have all that. So I wanted to like really make it easy and this is what I've been the system that I've been working on throughout, the course of my life, as far as when I realized that I had gifts. This is what I started doing, and I created my own little system. Now, mind you, I would say every system that relates to the occult generally does take from different cultures and traditions and stuff, and I'm all for that. I think the information that I received from different cultures and backgrounds have been very helpful to me spiritually. And some people want to understand or believe that there's a universal truth. I appreciate people from all over the world, mainly because I believe people from all over the world have small little bits and pieces to the universal puzzle that we're trying to solve. You know, that there might be certain ideas and concepts that people, like, for example, um, Hindus fully embrace, that they understand, and they utilize this information and it works for them, and other people outside of that group might laugh at them or belittle these people, but they actually do have something that is very valuable. And I don't think that I in a world where we were left to try to figure everything out on our own, I think, you know, any bit of information, all spiritual knowledge to me is fully accepted. I will never laugh at anyone at all or mistreat them or discard them in any way. So I would like to say that people from all walks of life are welcome to join my Patreon channel. Anyway, when it's up and ready. And I'm hoping to have it ready by this upcoming Wednesday. The actual goal was Sunday, but like I said, you know, what might appear to some people, they might think, oh, she's just being lazy, she's not doing anything. No, I'm going to tell you, downloads take a very long time, because as I'm getting all these downloads, I immediately start questioning, like, how in the world did this happen, or blah, 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 because it's just a lot, okay? It's a lot on a person. So I'm going to switch to the next scene really quick, because I have something to share with you. Okay, so a part of the download information is, and you know, it's funny, like I had mentioned a while ago that I stumbled upon these tarot readings that people were doing online, and I immediately accepted and believed that this particular message, without even knowing anything about this reader or anything like that, had something to do with me. And you know what? I was right. I understand that my gifts are sharp, very, very sharp. Okay. And, you know, that doesn't mean that I'm perfect, okay? I am not a perfect person. But I will tell you, I remember, I think this was like in the month of May. And I was, you know, logging online into my computer like I always do every single day. And there was this news article, this blog, which I'm going to tell you right now. I think a lot of blogs, I inspire a lot of blogs, okay? And you know, in the context of work, I don't like it when people steal my work, because I'm at the time when I was young and naive and stupid, thinking that my work really mattered. I thought that, you know what, if my employer knows that the kind of value that I can bring to them, that I would be appreciated, and I could secure like my employment, and I could get raises, and I can move on, and I could, you know, it would add something to my career. Poor little girl, I was so stupid. But anyway, so it really would irk me. It pissed me off when people would take credit for my work, which people did this all the time, and I hated it, right? Okay, but when it comes to people writing information about blogs, especially when it comes to ethics, especially when it comes to trying to really make people think about their behavior, I want to tell you, there's something in my heart that just says, you know what, let that shit go, because really we need people to act better. We need people to adapt better ways of living, because this is, you guys know what you fucking did to me, okay? And, you know, hey, I'm not trying to point the finger, but I'm trying to make the point that what people instinctively do, and the behaviors that they you know, inherently fall into, you know, it just goes to show you that these people, we don't think. Okay, society as a whole doesn't think, they just do. They are willing to hurt and harm anyone. They believe in things that they don't fully understand. They participate, you know, in nonsense or in genocide, and they can do it easily, you know. So that's my point. My point is that I believe that people are individually responsible for their own behaviors. And so since I've been talking about this in my videos, I've been noticing, like I said, there's a lot of blogs. But this is the blog that I wanted to point out. Okay, now this one is blowing my mind, and I do not have confirmation for it, and I don't really know how to go about getting any legal confirmation for it. So I feel like I'm at a stalemate. But anyway, I would say in the month of May, see how I like veered off into the other conversations, because this is one of the reasons why I like to write out my content and then like read it out, because if I don't have all my thoughts in order, I'm just going to keep blaring off into different subjects. So believe me, when I create content, I do it in a logical order, and I do it in a way where I'm not just like you know, getting off the subject. But when I'm getting off the subject, I really am on the same subject. It's just that it just has so many different faces to it. You know what I mean? Anyway, in the month of May, I was on my computer and I had noticed this particular article about this prince. Okay, he's a prince of Ethiopia. His name is D, and I'm probably not going to pronounce it correctly. It's D Jazmach Elemayehu Simeon Tewodoros. Okay, he was born on April 23rd, 1861. He passed away on November 14th, 1879. He was a very young man when he passed away. He was like 18 years old. He died, and I believe he's buried in the catacombs in England. Okay. It seems like he had a very sad life. Okay, and obviously a very sad and short life. But whatever reason, I remember feeling compelled to read that story when I saw it. And yesterday, when I had these downloads, and see, you know what I hate? Okay, I have talked to people, you know, like, I call it barbershop talk, you know, where like a lot of black people get together and they talk about, you know, a lot of black people want to be from places like Egypt and Ethiopia because that's like the coolest parts, right? So people would tell me that I was from Egypt when I was younger. Now this man, this particular, he's referred to as Prince Alemayehu, I believe that's how you pronounce his name without sounding dumb. He's from Ethiopia, but I do believe that there is some sort of connection between Ethiopia and Egypt, okay? And I don't remember exactly right off the top of my head. I know they have trades that go along with these two places, but I'm not exactly sure as far as political rule, and I feel bad for saying that because I feel like I should know because, you know, I'm a genius and everything, but I don't know completely. I'm not 100% clear on that, okay? I do know that based on my downloads, the reason why people treated me like shit when I was growing up is because I was adopted. Now, as fucked up and as cruel as that sounds, it's the truth, and this is one of the reasons why I do think that there's a serious problem with people's ethics, morals, their standards. If somebody is going to hate somebody just because they're adopted, shame on them. Okay? I'm just kind of going to go to the Bible, and I don't really have the verse, but it does talk about how people should be, you know, kind, especially kind to the elderly and those who are considered orphans. Okay, so people think, unfortunately, the family that adopted me, the Gordon family, see how quick it is. Very easy for me to disassociate myself from being related to them. Okay, see how that just rolls off my tongue, like the Gordon family, like I don't have no shit to do with that at all. Okay, you know, if I can like somehow distance myself from it, good. Okay, but anyway, here's a family that is using a child to supplement their income. Fuck it, they're not even supplementing their income. I am basically the cause of them getting an income. Okay. So they don't like me because I'm a smart kid. And this is where the shit just really pisses me off. I know black people talk about, oh, we want people to advance in our race and all this other stuff. But the minute they see evidence that there's somebody who's dark skinned who can be somebody who can do something, they want to cut it down. This is the hypocrisy of people in general, okay? So my family hated me, which is wicked, right? It's hypocritical. And then they encourage other people to hate me too. Now, this is not me trying to like start an argument, because I already have, like, you know, 1,300 videos of me bitching and complaining and name calling and just like literally calling other people out on this issue, which I have every right to, okay? But I'm not pissed off about it anymore. I've completely moved on from it. But I think the point that I'm trying to make here is that look how people treat orphans. People who have no one, people that nobody fucking cares about, and they encourage other people not to care about that person either. So this is why I don't get upset when I see blogs about really people taking some time out to look at the human nature, you know, that they normalized. Looking at their backgrounds and thinking, okay, was I really raised correctly? You know, do I really have compassion for people, or am I evil? Or do I have a little bit of evil in me? See, this is what I'm interested in. Like, and so when I see people writing blogs based on my shit, you know, unlike the work you know, the 9 to 5 job where people are ripping me off. I'm going to say I'm really glad to see that. I hope it makes a difference. Okay. But anyway, so back to this prince. Sorry, man, I'm telling you. Okay. So this prince, I believe yesterday as I was meditating, I kept thinking, I bet you that prince might have something to do with who I am. I bet you it does. Now, I know that in the past, I remember this girl telling me from school, and since I'm getting the download that everybody except for me knew that I was adopted, so I was basically the laugh of the town, the person that everybody fucking hated and wanted to beat up on because I was adopted and I was a smart girl, right? So where am I going with this? Okay, so the bullying, oh shoot, I'm like losing my train of thought here. Okay. So then we have me, you know, not being fully accepted by people because my mom was obviously afraid of me because she felt intimidated by my intelligence. And then the other kids at school didn't like me only because people were told not to like me. When I think about this prince, I kept thinking, oh, wow, you know, maybe he does have something to do with me. And I remember a girl, when I was having a conversation with her back in high school, and, you know, because everybody knew I was adopted, she might have known that I was from a different origin. I had different origins. Because I remember her saying, you just remind me of like an Egyptian or something. And I kept thinking, okay, well, I didn't really think much about it now, but somehow it seems relevant. It seems relevant right now. So I don't know. What else could I find out about this particular prince? You know, I don't know if it seems like he would have some family, some sort of family left over from that time period, even though, see, it looks like his father had committed suicide. Okay, and his mother passed away shortly after that. And this is when he went to over to England to spend the rest of his life. I can't really go into the whole story right now. If you have an interest in it, you might want to go ahead and Google it and look at it. But somehow I feel as though if people knew that I was adopted, and it seems like, you know, since I was dealing with the gang stalking, people know a lot more about me than I even know. Like, so they probably know about this. If it is true, they probably know about this prince already. Okay. But it seems like he would have other family, like, because, like, he might have had sisters that didn't go into England with him. He may have had cousins or somebody. He still has to have some family. I don't know if I would go and try to track these people down or anything like that. But, you know, I'm amazed at all of this. You know what I mean? And now when I put everything together, it makes total sense. You know, and I'm just trying to make sense of it myself. You know what I mean? It's a lot to digest. You know? It is for me. So anyway, I'm going to move on to the next thing. All right, so I thought I would go ahead and add some celebrity shout outs because I have been thinking, that's that I do it deliberately. It's just that people's faces just come surfacing up, you know, in my mind. Like, I will just be sitting on my couch and then all of a sudden I see somebody's face as being circling, you know, it's like circling in my mind, in my third eye, or whatever you want to call it. So anyway, I want to say hi to Melissa Etheridge. How are you? I hope everything's well. Cassandra Peterson. I used to love Elvira. I used to watch it all night. Watch it at night. And I mean, some of the shows were pretty cheesy, but I mean, you made it fun. You were a really good host on that show. I want to say hi to Neil Diamond. I love your music. And you keep popping up in my head. Let me see. Oh, yeah, Mickey Dolenz. Apparently, Mickey Dolenz had a little bit of an issue with me, and he wants to apologize and say he's sorry. Hey, you know, Mickey, it's all well and good. We can be best friends forever. I don't have an issue with you at all. Actually, I think you're pretty damn cool. Barack and Michelle Obama, hello. How are you? Hope all's doing well. And I want to say hi to George Strait. You know, yes, I actually saw that movie, Pure Country. Don't ask me how I saw it, but I did see it. It was actually pretty good. I always appreciated you as anyway. Oprah Winfrey, how are you doing? I want to say hi to Barbara Streisand. I love your music. I love your voice. You have a great voice. I also want to say hi to Deborah Harry. I remember growing up thinking you were cool. I remember seeing you in this leather jacket. And I remember telling my dad that I wanted a leather jacket. And you know what he said, as being a man that he was like, only tramps wear that. And I guess, well, I guess that makes me a tramp then. Because I loved your style. Anyway, Deepak Chopra, how are you? I love you. You have a great voice. I have, you're on my Pandora channel. I like Pandora. I use Pandora, you know, to keep me entertained when I get bored. And I like your channel, so it's wonderful to listen to. And I think you're a really cool dude. Hello, Lisa Bonet. I wish we could hang out sometime. Always liked you. I want to say hi to Russell Paul. You know, Russell Paul, I think you're great. As a matter of fact, I love. I obviously do not speak the language, but I love your music, and I think it's what I love about it is it's very high vibrational. It's great to meditate to. I had a lot of great experiences listening to your music, and I immediately became a fan of your music. So yeah, keep up the good work. I want to say hi to Henry Winkler. You know, you're just like a big part of my childhood from like the very get go. I really do appreciate the work that you've done. Hello, Shannon Doherty. How are you? I wish you light and happiness. I also want to say hi to Kelly Item. I remember meeting up with him, not really meeting up with him, but communicating with him briefly back in, I would say, 2012, somewhere around there. I had some health issues. He has a book called The Doctor That Cures Cancer. I hope I remember the name of that correctly. I think he's a great man, and you guys should like reach out to him if you have any questions. Also, wanted to say hi to David Lee Roth. Man, you know what? When I think about you, I think about that beautiful mane of hair that you used to have. And I remember so many women talking about how beautiful you were. And I got to say, man, you were totally beautiful. Hello, and I hope everything's doing well with you. I also want to say hello to Linda Carter. I love you in Wonder Woman. I got to tell you, I had the Wonder Woman doll. And I have to say, you have always been the best Wonder Woman. And to me, no one else could fit that role. You know what I mean? To me, you're always going to be Wonder Woman. You did a great job of it. And I appreciate the work that you've done. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I'll be back with another video sometime later. Take care. Bye.